Amir Khan makes up his mind, and Pac-Man is just a call-out. We get into all that next. Please like and subscribe. Help us hit 10,000 subscribers. Leave us a comment. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome to Friday Check Hook. Welcome back. We're going to get back to a normal schedule now that the holidays are over. The last couple of weeks have been a little screwy, but we're going to get that all back, all back to normal. We're going to do our Friday show, our Sunday show, and then Tuesday as well. And we're going to throw in some more shows, some more hot stoves, some more Lone Star roundups. But let's get started. A lot of news to get into. Let's get started with Amir Khan. There's an old saying, once a star, always a draw. Wow. So this is true for Amir Khan, to say the least. So Khan hasn't had a big win over a top 20 welterweight since 2015 when he beat Chris Algieri, and that's a marginal top 20 welterweight. And despite that, he had his choice between a pay-per-view mega fight in the UK with Kell Brook and a mega fight in the US with pound-for-pound kingpin Terence Bud Crawford. He opted for the latter, not the former. I want to address a few things in regard to that fight. First, Bud was going to fight either Khan or Collazo, and he was basically waiting on Khan to make that decision. I would have preferred Collazo because I feel he is more deserving of the shot. As of his recent resume, Collazo has a couple decent wins. I think both would be overwhelmed, but Collazo loves a good scrap. I like Collazo, and I think he deserves the shot and the payday. So I would have liked to have seen, Khan go fight Brook, which does nothing for me, but let Collazo get the shot. I would have loved to have seen that. Unfortunately, that's not what happened. But also, it wouldn't have been on pay-per-view. I wouldn't have had to pay to watch Bud beat Collazo. But I will have to pay for Bud to knock Khan out. And I'm not a big fan of having to pay for this. And I will. I'll buy it because I buy everything because I'm a sucker. But this is not something I should have to pay for. Bud Crawford versus Amir Khan. Now, I'm not into buying that. However, I'm not really against the fight. Look, this is and this is the nuts and bolts of it all. None of the PBC 147 pounders had any interest in all of fighting Terence Crawford. Swift Garcia took a fraction of the pay to take a non-title fight against Adrian Granados. Okay, so instead of getting a title shot and $3 million guaranteed, and that was their first offer. And I want to get into this. And there's a lot of talk. Other shows are talking about how they only offered Terence Crawford's team only offered $3 million to Danny Garcia, but they offered $5 million to Amir Khan. Well, you guys know how negotiation works, right? I go low, you go high, we meet in the middle, right? They offered $3 million to Danny Garcia first. They said that they had a long talk with Angel Garcia. They thought it was good, and then they never heard back from him. So they never made a counteroffer. What if Danny would have countered back and said 6.5 or 6? And they came back and they would have said 5. And that's how negotiation is done. That was a preliminary offer. And then Danny Garcia obviously had no interest in getting any of that smoke with Terence Crawford. That's just a fact, okay? He didn't get back to him. So you can't say that was their last offer. No, it was the first offer. I go low, you go high, and then we meet in the middle. So they were, that's just the truth. Danny Garcia wanted nothing to do with Terence Crawford. Sean Porter took his mandatory against Ugas, so Porter and Ugas are out of the equation. Thurman doesn't want any of that smoke. And hardly ever fights, period. And we don't even know if he's going to fight in a few weeks, so let's be real. And Spence told Crawford that his name wasn't even mentioned. He said in that face-off they had after the Hooker Salcedo fight that, him and his team hadn't even mentioned fighting Terence Crawford. So they don't have any interest in that fight. And Pacquiao is locked up with Broner. So those two guys are out of the equation. And Manny Pacquiao left Top Rank to avoid fighting Bud. Do you think he's going to fight him now? Look, so this is the facts of the matter. Thurman, Errol Spence, Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Sean Porter, Udonis Ugas, Manny Pacquiao, and Adrian Broner are all not possible options. Think about that. None of them will fight the pound-for-pound king of the sport. None of them. That's quite an indictment on them. It's quite an indictment on PBC. It's quite an indictment on that entire side of the pond that none of those guys will ante up and fight the best fighter in the world. So since none of those names are available, who's left? Well, after you get through all those names, none of those guys are willing to fight him. Collazo and Khan are probably the best names out there. You know, maybe Kell Brook, but Kell Brook's fighting at 54 right now. And he was going after the Khan fight and things like that. And we don't know I don't know if Kell Brook's going to come back down to 47. I think he should. But, you know, Kell Brook was the only better option out there as opposed to Collazo and Khan. The next best guy out there is Kell Brook. Kell Brook it was the best option. After Kell Brook, it's those two. So that's really all that's out there. I mean, they're not going to make a fight with Jamal James or something like that. So it's Kell Brook, and it's not Kell Brook. It's Khan or Collazo, and they went offered to both of them, and they went with Khan. So I can't be mad at Terence Crawford. Terence Crawford went down the line and fought the best guy available. He tried to make a fight with Danny Garcia. He tried for years to make a fight with Manny Pacquiao. They have no bites. They don't want the fight. Errol Spence has no interest in fighting him. Keith Thurman hardly ever fights. He fights every year and a half, 2 years, or whatever it is. Look, so I can't get on Crawford for the same reason I can't get on Errol Spence when he fought Lamont Peterson. I didn't complain because Peterson was probably the best fighter available at that time, right? Garcia and Porter were locked up. Thurman was still on his maternity leave. Pacquiao had a different engagement. Everyone else had a different fight. So Spence took the next best guy out there, who was Peterson. And so you can't complain about that. Look, also, Amir Khan is not the worst option. I know we make fun of his chin and we knock his chin and this and that, and I get it. Look, he gets knocked down, he'll get knocked out by Terence Crawford. So basically, Khan took the $5 million challenge and will get knocked out by Crawford instead of getting knocked out by Brook. But you know what's interesting? He's getting $5 million. Errol Spence has never gotten $5 million. Keith Thurman, Sean Porter have never gotten $5 million. Keith Thurman's biggest payday is $2 million. But none of them wanted to fight Terence Crawford. So consider that. But Amir Khan has never been outboxed. He's been in the ring with Canelo Alvarez. He's been in the ring with Danny Garcia. He's been in the ring with all these fighters. He's been in the ring with so many top names. He's never been outboxed for 12 rounds. So that means something. Look, he's going to get knocked out by Terence Crawford. That's going to happen. But he can win the first couple of rounds on his hand speed alone. His hand speed and his defensive responsibility before he gets caught is really good. He keeps his hand up. He fires the jab. He does things well. Technically, he's really good. But this is Terence Crawford's a different beast. Terence Crawford's obviously going to win. But let's not undersell Amir Khan, who is technically a good fighter, and his hand speed is one of the best we've seen in this weight class. So this is not a terrible fight. Like, Khan is better, and maybe he shot. Maybe we've seen the best of Khan. We probably have. But Khan is not a bum. That's what I'm trying to communicate. Khan's a good fighter with good skill. He's unfortunately fighting the best fighter of his current era. That's the problem. So let me know what you guys think. Leave your thoughts, comments below. Let me know what you think about this fight, Khan and Crawford. If you think Khan's a joke, if you think Khan's completely washed, if you think Khan puts up a decent challenge, leave that all below. I want to get to the next subject, which is Manny Pacquiao. And he's called out the winner of Spence and Garcia. So he wants the winner of the Errol Spence-Mikey Garcia fight. Think about this. I want to get back to Crawford real quick. This is how good Terence Crawford is. Pacquiao quit Top Rank after all them years and did everything in his power, everything possible to avoid fighting Bud. But is openly calling out Errol Spence and Keith Thurman. I'm going to get to Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia. He quit Top Rank and did all things possible to avoid Bud Crawford, but calls out Errol Spence and Mikey Garcia, who are two top 10 pound-for-pound fighters. That's the different level that Terence Crawford is on. Think about that. That's not me saying it. That's Manny Pacquiao, a legendary Hall of Fame fighter, saying, I'm going to avoid fighting Crawford by any means necessary. I'm going to do all things possible to avoid Terence Crawford. But I'm going to call out, I want Errol Spence, I want Mikey Garcia. That's the difference. That's the different level between, that's the different level Bud Crawford is on. Bud is better than everybody else. If Pacquiao does beat Adrian Broner, I'm not saying that he's definitely going to, but let's just say he does. He has a WBA strap and a quality win, and is in position to name his next fight. Manny Pacquiao, assuming he beats Adrian Broner, will have a mega fight by year's end against either Keith Thurman or Errol Spence. Keith Thurman has said time and time again that he wants to make this fight, that he wants to fight Pacquiao, that he thinks it would be good to have Pacquiao, Manny Pacquiao scalp on, above his fireplace, so to speak. And Errol Spence has already mentioned the name. He said that Pacquiao's name was mentioned to Terence Crawford and not his. And Manny wants that fight. So we will get that fight. He will fight one of those two, and the other guy will fight the winner of Ugas and Porter. So again, Crawford's not going to fight any of the PBC guys in this year, which is a current trend that always seems to be on. So Pacquiao's going to get that fight, assuming he wins. Pacquiao is still a draw, and he's still a threat. I think Spence would hunt him down and break him. I think he would break Pacquiao down. Pacquiao may have some success early, but I think over time, as his legs start to go, Errol Spence breaks him down, maybe stops him late in the fight. Although I think Pac matches up nicely against Keith Thurman. They both have legs. They're both athletic. This would be a really interesting fight that either guy could win. I could see Thurman getting the win, but I could see Pacquiao outpointing him too. So Pac could potentially beat Thurman. So I'm into that. That would be a really good fight. Pac is 85% maybe of what he was a decade ago. But that's still good. That's still good enough. And he'll always be a draw. And 80 to 85% of what he was a decade ago still makes him a very good fighter. Can he beat Crawford? No, I don't think he could ever beat Crawford. Can he beat Spence? I don't think he can beat Spence. Any other name, I think he does well against. I think he beats Porter. I think he beats Danny. I think he beats any of those guys. Keith Thurman is an interesting one. That's going to be a real good fight, and we may get it. As they both have some version of the WBA. The WBA should mandate that fight, which they won't because the WBA is a joke. But that would be a real interesting fight, and we may get that by year's end. But we're going to get, assuming Pacquiao beats Broner, we're going to get either Pacquiao Spence or Pacquiao Thurman in the second half of 2019. So, look, it is what it is. It's a good consolation prize to getting Terence Crawford against those guys, which is a fight that we all want and should have, and which we deserve, but we're not going to get, obviously. But, look, Pacquiao, I like watching Pacquiao fights. They're never boring, so let's do it. Let's get this fight. Let me know what you guys think about my thoughts on Pacquiao fighting Broner and then fighting the winner of Spence and Garcia. Is that a fight you guys think that he could potentially win? Do you think he'd have any chance against either Spence or Thurman? But leave your thoughts, comments below. For Friday's Check Hook, this is 3D Boxing signing off, saying thank you and God bless.
Enjoy 3D Boxing vlog videos? Show us some love by clicking the like button. Don't miss a tweet, post, story, or video. 3dboxingvlog.com is also on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hit the subscribe button now to stay inside the ring.